All right, we are officially starting the group chat. And we got Magner, Arthur, Brenda, Chris, Diana, Joseph, Sean, Sheen, Tom. All right, I was going to say, I see Tom's name, and Tom's right there. Boom, facing the camera like me. That's what I'm talking about. All right, he's got a little more facial hair than me, though. This is what we're going to talk about today. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a message negotiation breakdown. And before we do it, guys got to understand, you can either make excuses, make up a bunch of reasons why you're not making money, be a little baby, if you will, or you can suck it up and do the work and just make money. You can only do one of two things. What's up, Costello? I think you didn't you do 35 grand this month, which is fantastic, Alex? There's people, you can have all sorts of excuses about this business. You can say, oh, I'm afraid the ads aren't going to stick, so I'm not going to put up ads. Say, oh, I got to go into work right now. I'm not going to respond to leads till after I get off work, or I'm in the perfect time. You can say, oh, I don't have that much money, so I'm just going to wait till I have a bunch of money. You can wait till you die. You can keep making excuses and wait till you die, or you can just go forward with what you have now and start making money. When I got started, I was getting off work at 9 p.m. I started with a couple $100. I was working 40 hours a week, and I made it work. Keisha is in next level, joined when she was doing $3 grand. She's a nurse and gets off work at like 11 p.m. She's also a real estate agent. So she gets off work at 11 at night. She's a real estate agent. She went from 3 grand to 21 grand in a month, in 1 month. So you can pick up phones anytime. Pick up phones in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, bright and early in the morning. You can pick up phones whenever. People are always up. You want to respond to leads whenever. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Just start doing it now. Take imperfect action. And start picking up phones and figure it out as you move forward. Now, meet in a public place. Factory reset the phone. Make sure it's a phone they said. But you want to move forward now. You don't want to wait. You don't want to just keep waiting. So many people are waiting for this, waiting for that, waiting for everything to be perfect. You've been waiting long enough. Just start taking action. So hopefully that makes sense. And you also don't want to judge. Another thing you do is you don't want to judge the prospects, right? So sometimes people say, well, Aaron, I don't understand why someone would sell me their phone. Why would someone sell me their phone when they could sell it themselves? People want the money. People want to get rid of it now. People don't know what it's worth. People don't want to have to deal with it. We never want to put ourselves in our customer's head. We never want to say, well, I would never do that. Well, of course you wouldn't. And if you're on this group chat or watching the replay, you're above 98% of people anyway. You're proactive, you're learning, you're trying to better your life. Most people are not like that. So, and that's totally cool. We're going to love everyone the same. We're going to buy phones from everyone the same. But we're not going to say, oh, well, this seems kind of strange. I wouldn't do this, so this deal is weird. I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to pick up the phone. No, if they're going to sell you the phone, they're going to meet you in a public place. They're going to bring their ID on them. Everything's good. We're going to move forward and start picking up phones and figure out the rest later. Another thing you got to do is you got to be aware of your time. Your time and what you focus on is a big deal. You only have so many hours in a day. So, like, when I wake up, guys, I got a list of stuff that I do that's right over there. I don't turn on my phone, because if I turn on my phone, I'll want to get on Facebook. I'll watch Facebook videos for 5 hours, and then I won't get anything done. I go through the checklist. I start doing stuff. I start putting up ads, responding to leads, shipping out phones, following up with other people. Picked up 2 phones today from a lead that I was supposed to follow up with that I'll make a gazillion dollars on. It's a beautiful thing. And that's that. So you got to be aware of your time. Sometimes people aren't managing their time, and their time is kind of taking them away. You got to be aware of where your time is going, right? Who gets your time? Sometimes you got to not respond to people. When I've been building businesses, I would have people that would want to hang out, and they'd get mad that I wouldn't want to go party with them. I wouldn't answer. Hey, I'm doing something that I'm building my business. I don't have time to hang out. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It doesn't mean it's cool, but I'm focusing my attention on me. It's okay to be a little greedy with your time. It's okay to be a little selfish with your time and focus on yourself. You have to put yourself first because nobody else will. Let me respond to this guy real quick, and then we're going to go into this message negotiation. So that makes sense. Just give me some feedback in the chat. I just wanted to point out a few things that I thought maybe were important. Amen. anytime after. Tom says, is that a light for taking eBay pictures behind you? No, I don't have a light. That's a light if I'm making a video of me and I want to look cool and not make it look like I live in a, you know, how much do I pay here? $385 a month mobile home. All right, sounds good. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. And you know, people aren't in your life that support you. It's okay to kind of move on. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. We're doing a message negotiation. Let's get into the nutsies and the boltsies. Fantastic, Tom. I appreciate the feedback. What's this guy saying? All right. So let's go ahead and move this right here, and we're gonna go right here. And we're going to go right here. All right, someone tell me something when it comes to message negotiation. I need the rules of message negotiation. One line ad. Oh, dang. Woo. Woo. Thomas typing faster than I can put it on paper. All right. One line at a time. That's the same thing as one idea per line, the exact same thing. Third grade reading level. Oh, I like that, Roy. I like that, Roy. Showing intent. Oh, very powerful. What did Alex say right here? Alex is we're gonna draw the chart. RWOCM. They're gonna reach out to us. We're gonna figure out what they have. We're gonna make them an offer. We're gonna close them. We're gonna go for the meetup. Ooh, Diana. Okay, all right. Lead with asking questions. Benefits, absolutely. Guys, it's all about the customer. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's all about the customer. So let's go ahead and break down this message negotiation. It's crazy seeing all these numbers. When we got started, guys, the big goal was $20,000. There's people in next level now that are doing between $20,000 and $50,000 a month. There's multiple people that have been doing $20,000, $25,000. I know people that have been 30 this month, 35. Belden did 42. And then I forget that one guy's name, starts with an N. He did 50 grand. He did $50,000 last month in sales, guys. So it's funny. This used to be like a part-time thing. Now this is becoming a six-figure profit year business. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You can now support your whole family and make really good money in this business. Not actually working too much. I mean, you still got to put in work, but 30 hours a week of intense focused work to make $100,000 plus a year in profit sounds like a pretty good deal to me. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down. This is from Mr. Richard. So this is a customer, says, how much for an iPhone XX with a cracked screen? So Richard says, hi, thanks for messaging. Okay, it's cracked. Any ink spots or lines inside the screen? So what do you guys think about this message right here? There's already something that I would tweak. What do you guys think about this? So Justin said, how much for an iPhone X with a cracked screen? So the guy says he's got the phone. Now he's got the cracked screen. Now we do got to figure out if it's fully messed up in the bad LCD digitizer or if it just kind of slightly cracked. So he says, hi, thanks for messaging. So I guess I like that, right? It's kind of short and right to the point, but it's kind of, I mean, that's a little intent right there. And it says, okay, it's cracked. I wouldn't put this in there, right? There's no need to say, okay, it's cracked. That's something you would say in your head, correct? Right? That's something that if you and me were looking at it, we would say, all right, it's cracked, but there's no need to say that. That's oh, I see you just messaged me, and I see it's an iPhone X, and I see it's a cracked screen. It's extra words. There's no need to say that. There's no need to say that. And of course, it's not in the script. You would never say that it's cracked. We want to keep everything real smooth, right? So we would say, we get to redo it. Hi, thanks for messaging. Thanks for messaging. Any ink spots or lines in the screen? You guys see how this is a little bit more direct? You want to be saying the least amount of words as possible in order to get your point across. Now, sometimes you got to type out a little bit. Sometimes you're doing the 4 parts of an effective counteroffer. Sometimes there's a bunch of things going on. But it's you want to be saying, you want to be getting right to the point. You know, there's no fluff. We want it to be all like nuts and bolts stuff. So I would just remove this, and I would say this. Hi, thanks for messaging. Return. Any ink spots or lines inside the screen. If it was me personally, I probably wouldn't say this. Depending on how long, it says he was waiting for your response. It might be a while. So if he was waiting for your response, of course, I would say, hey, sorry, just saw this. Any ink spots or lines inside the screen. That's kind of what I would say. Ooh, Diana, you got a fan. Diana, you got 2 fans now. Alex said, what's up, Diana? He's all excited to see you. And then, of course, you know, Aaron Goldstein is all of your guys' fans all the time. So that's what I would say. I keep it more right to the point. And if it says it's waiting for you to respond, so let's talk about this real quick. If it's a long time before they message you and you respond, why do you always want to say, sorry, just saw this? I need someone to tell me in the chat. If they message you and it takes you a few hours to respond, why do you always say, sorry, just saw this, and then go on to the next part? What's up, Mohammed? Hey, go make that money. Why do you always want to say, sorry, just saw this? Why do you want to acknowledge the fact that you're just now seeing this? So, Tom, saying sorry, just saw this is not actually an intent line. Intent line is like, I want to buy this. What you want to do is if you take, so here's the thing. If we're about to go we got to get something else besides tacos. Someone tell me their favorite food. No more tacos, though, guys. I've had tacos the last 15 times with you guys. I'm not. All right, we're getting pizza. Oh, I like steak. I also like ice cream sundaes. So if that's the case, we're going to the Golden Corral. Oh, Dave likes hot wings. Ribeye. Guys, we're going to the Golden Corral because they got pizza, and I think they got some barbecue, and they might have some hot wings, David. I don't know. Oh, they got a lot of dessert. Trust me. Anytime I feel like gaining a few pounds, that's where I go. I don't ever feel like gaining a few pounds, but every time I kind of notice myself, okay, we're just going to keep moving forward. You guys are going to tell me what about that. So what it does is if we're going to walk into the buffet that has the pizza and all that good stuff, we walk in there and there's no one to seat us. And we wait for a couple minutes. And a couple minutes goes by and someone eventually comes to the front and says, how many with the party? And we're like, 18. Oh, that's how many people we have on the chat. And he's like, all right, follow me. Is anyone here going to be a little pissed off that we had to wait for a couple minutes before we got seated? And if you think, Aaron, you're being a little too crazy, think about the last time you went into a gas station, you went into a restaurant, someone didn't greet you within 5 seconds and you got a little aggravated. It was only 5 seconds. It was only 5 seconds. Why are you making such a big deal? Why do you care? You're like, all right, Aaron, you might be a little right. All right, I probably was a little pissed off that it took 5 seconds to greet them. So what happens is people have negative energy that's built up because people feel like you're rejecting them. They feel like you're ignoring them. Everyone has egos. So if that person didn't acknowledge us, we would sit down at the table, and you know what someone would say? One of you guys would say this. One of you guys would say, kind of didn't like how we were greeted. It was kind of rude. It took too long for us to get greeted. Some of you guys have maybe even gone into restaurants in the past, had that experience, and had that same conversation with other people. Now, guys, I definitely don't want you guys think I'm perfect. I feel the same way, right? That's why I'm consciously aware of this stuff. So the problem is if someone messages you and you wait a few hours till you respond, if it's just a little time, but if it's like a few hours or, you know, if you're getting off work or you're waking up late or just seeing it and it's a few hours, I'd say an hour or more, and you don't respond, you want to first say, sorry, just saw this, to acknowledge the fact that you're just seeing this. It kind of diffuses the situation and makes any negative tension inside them go away. one of the things we want to do is think about their state and where the person's coming from. And if they're in a bad mood, we actually want to kind of diffuse and kind of, we want to dissolve the negative feeling. It's just like if we went to the buffet and we waited a couple minutes and we're sitting there aggravated, and someone comes to the front and says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We're just now seeing you. We were short-staffed. I was helping someone in the back. I apologize. That's not a good excuse. However, Mr. Chris, Costello, and Cripe, and Tom, and Diana, and Alex, and everyone else, I'm going to make sure you guys have a fantastic time at the buffet. Please follow me. Have a seat here. If you need anything, message me. And again, sorry for the experience. If they said that, who here would still be mad? Probably not. Now, one of you guys might be Aaron. I'm still being mad. But most people here, Costello, most people here are good-hearted people. And we're going to be like, no problem. We understand. Everyone kind of gets a little, just by them saying they were sorry and acknowledging it makes it go away. That's why, now you say, Aaron, you're making all this thing. What's the point? The point is, saying sorry, just saw this, is such a big deal. Because if it's been a couple hours and you just start responding, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have negative tension built up inside their gut, feeling like you didn't care. You have an ad. It's your job to respond to an ad, right? That's what they think. And it's a few hours, and you go through the script and you don't say, sorry, just saw this. They're going to feel that negative tension throughout the entire conversation, which means the entire conversation, you're now fighting an uphill battle because you didn't acknowledge the fact and say sorry to them and dissolve that negative feeling right up front in the beginning. Dissolve the negative feeling by saying, sorry, just saw this. And sometimes I say it a few times, right? If I just see it and then I get distracted with another lead and I come back the next day, sorry, just saw this. It dissolves it. It makes it go away. It makes everything better, and then you're not fighting an uphill battle. They don't feel that negative tension, just like we wouldn't feel the negative tension in the buffet if the person apologized and the rest of their state is now calm and even, and we're on like an even playing field. You guys see that? You guys kind of see how that makes sense? So by him saying is waiting for your response, and again, I'm pretty sure Richard's not on here. I think that it was a while before you responded. I'd probably have said, sorry, just saw this. But again, it might have been right away, but I don't know, but that's my thoughts. He says, no, it just cracked. Okay, great. What company is it with? All right, I like that. Great, right? That's a little positivity. Awesome. Okay, great. Little positiveness. Justin says, okay, cool. He says, awesome. I can give you $290 for it. Richard, what the heck is going on? Says, awesome, I can give you $290 for it. You said, wait, you said there was a cracked screen, right? He says, yeah. Great, no worries. Now, Richard, see, Richard, I like it because my dad's name's Richard and you're a good guy. He said it was a cracked screen. You even acknowledged that it was a cracked screen here. He confirmed that it was a cracked screen here, and then you don't remember it's a cracked screen. All right? Guys, it's very important, all right, that we got to remember what the customer says, and if we need to, and we're not sure because we're responding to a bunch of leads, which is a good thing, totally cool, sometimes we have to go back, and we have to look at the conversation so it's a smooth thing, right? I mean, you said it's cracked. He said it's cracked. You said, wait, you said there was a cracked screen, right? He said, yeah. I mean, this is not a smooth conversation. This is all over the place. This is not good. Chris Cripe would have gotten pissed off with Richard, to be honest. Yeah, Richard, it's your business. Guys, it's your business. You got to be on top of your shit. You got to be on top of your game. You got to be sharp. You got to be calibrated. You got to know what's going on. You got to be on it. You got to have that intense focus. So what I would say to this is, Richard, just make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on. I mean, because this was like the main focal point. It was a cracked. You said cracked. I mean, what's going on? It makes it seem like you're not paying attention. Makes it seem like you don't care. That's like if I go to the doctor's office, guys, and I'm falling down sick, and I'm throwing up all over the place, and my face is green, and you guys don't know what's going on. And the doctor's like, what's going on? Okay, tell me about your symptoms. And I just tell the doctor about my symptoms for 2 minutes. And then after I'm done, and I'm out of breath, and my face is red, and my tongue fell out, it's laying on the ground, the doctor's like, oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. What were your symptoms again? Guys, I'm finding another doctor, all right? Now, I'm over-exaggerating this, and I'm being a little silly because we like to have fun in Next Level. But the point is, you got to be on top of your shit. So, you know, maybe you didn't say you're sorry here. So, and the guy's like, all right, he didn't acknowledge it. But he wants to sell his phone, so I'm going to move forward anyway. All you guys talk about that it's a cracked screen, then you forget that it's a cracked screen. You know, I'd be a little aggravated. So what do you think? No thanks. I mean, you know, no worries. It's a great phone. I don't know. Just looking to see what I could get for it. Do you have a number in mind by any chance? Now, this is all good stuff right here. Now, he says, no thanks. Someone rate this for me. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Tom says level 3. Ms. Keisha. Keisha, when did you hop on this call? I was just bragging shamelessly about you in the beginning of the group chat. Roy says 2.5. Chris says 2.5. Diana. Brenda says 2. So, oh, Keisha just jumped on. Okay. Keisha, I was on the phone with a VIP person earlier today. I gave the old-fashioned Keisha example. I love it. I said, well, you know, Keisha gets off work at 11, and she's a real estate agent. And she's got a full-time job. And she went from $3,000 to $21,000 in a month. So, you know, she just kind of made it happen. So, he says, I'm thinking around a 2.5, to be honest with you, 2 to 3. So, no worries, it's a great phone, guys, is not enough. It needs more intent. It needs no worries, it's a great phone. And to be honest, I need more iPhone X's. What were you looking to get for it? All right, guys, here's a big deal. Big point right here. Everyone pay attention. Everyone pay attention. So we talk about on the 3 levels of commitment that Aaron Goldstein made up that was never introduced anywhere before. All right, just so. The 3 levels of commitment, when they're starting to leave the conversation, I want everyone here to see this because these are micro details now. When the person is starting to leave the conversation, it's important that we say the right words, depending if they're level 1, 2, or 3, in order to pull them back into the conversation. And the next step is to get a dollar amount from them. If they're level 1, 2, or level 3, the very next step is to have them say a dollar amount of what they're looking to get for it. Why is this so important? Chris Kripe's paying attention. Because Chris Kripe, when they give you a dollar amount for what they're looking for, and I know you probably know this, but when they give you a dollar amount for what they're looking for what they're looking to get for it, they have to go into their head, logically think, how much do I really want to get for this phone? I'll take $1,000. Doesn't matter the number, just matters that and then they write $1,000 and they send it to you. They're a certain level of investment and committed in the conversation. They're usually commitment levels at least a level 2, if not a level 1 at that point. They're at least somewhat invested in the conversation because they had to think of a dollar amount. You guys understand how important that is? And depending on how you respond to them, depending on how their levels, will get that number. If you don't get that number from them, that shows that they're really a level 3 and they're kind of leaving the conversation because they're not even putting any effort into the commitment of the conversation because they're not saying a number. Does that kind of make sense? There has to be a certain level of commitment to the conversation and the rapport with you for them to actually say a dollar amount. So I want you to see here how this was messed up. And Richard, and to give Richard some props, he's staying in there, he's trying to make it work. We just got to make some little tweaks. This person's a 2.5, correct? Correct. Well, you responded to him as you would respond to a 1. Because you didn't tweet this as a 2.5 or a 3 and you responded to him as a level 1, he never gave you a dollar amount. And because he never gave you a dollar amount, we now never pull them back from a 3 to like a 1 or a 2. And now we're really fighting an uphill battle. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys see that, and it kind of makes sense. Okay? Cool, cool. 1, Tom, Diana, Chris, Keisha. KK, 1 from Brenda. Want to make sure we're on the same page. So you guys see how in this particular, in this part of the negotiating process, which is very common when they say no, it's very important to use the right levels, because if you don't use the right levels, they won't tell you a dollar amount, and by them not saying a dollar amount, it shows very little commitment, which is level 3, which shows them really pulling out of the conversation. If they're a level 3, that's cool, but make sure you say the correct words to say on a level 3 to get a dollar amount to pull them back into a 1 or a 2. It's probably a 2, but that's still fine. You can go from there. So, guys, I'm no psychic, but because I've done about 25,000 message negotiations and I'm really, 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 really good at this, my guess is as we move forward, the guy's going to give short responses, and it's going to be very non-commitment-like because we didn't say the right thing here to get a dollar amount to pull him into a certain commitment level. Makes sense? Do you have a number in mind by any chance? Not really, but probably around the $400 range just because it's newer. See, all right, now what was good here, what I like what Richard did, is Richard pushed a little bit to get a number, and he did get the number. But the guy says not really. He says not really, which kind of shows a commitment to level 3. But then he does say, you know, he does say a dollar amount, which now has a fair amount of commitment level to it, right? But it's kind of, you guys kind of feel we're fighting an uphill battle. That doesn't mean we can't turn it around, right? That doesn't mean we can't close a deal. We want to make it as smooth as possible. And, of course, the number one thing to making these deals work, of course, is staying in the conversation, which Richard's doing. Props to Richard, staying in the conversation. Yes, sir. He's not getting emotional and freaking out. He's trying to do everything he can. We can make some tweaks to make the rest of the process smoother, but still not bad. It's a great phone. It's just I buy and sell, need to make a little profit. Would also need to get the screen fixed. And we know how annoying that is. Would you do any less if I met you today with cash? So I like this. I like this because you wouldn't want to say this would be the correct offer, of course. Or it would be better to ask him to come down in price because he's kind of at a level 2 or a level 3. And by making a dollar amount, it would probably push him away more. But what I think is going to happen is because he kind of threw an offer out there and we kind of had to push a little bit harder, my guess is because he's still not really committed, he's probably going to, just kind of try to exit the combo. No, see that? No, it's whatever. I wasn't really looking to sell, just seeing what I could get if I was. You guys see, that's like a level 3. He's not, no, it's whatever, right? He's saying, I don't really care. I'm leaving the conversation because we didn't do things in the beginning of the conversation to pull him from that 3 back to the 2 quickly. When they go to the 3, we got to pull him back. How do we pull him back, of course? By, of course, following the 3 levels and by making a lot of intents, right? The other thing he did here is he just said it's a great phone. It would be better to have more intent. I would probably, if I was working this uphill battle and the guy landed here, this is what I would have done. If I did what Richard said and I landed right here, I would have shown like 2 or 3 lines of intent. It's a great phone. And to be honest, I need more iPhone X's, comma. He says it's AT&T. It's a great phone, and to be honest, I need more iPhone X's, comma. Any idea how many gigabytes it is? And then the guy would have said the gigabytes, and I would have tried to do things to create more value. Also, we should probably go appraise it. Because an iPhone X, guys, I'd be selling that as clean IMEI for AT&T. No, we got to put AT&T. See, so this one sold for $365. Shit, that's got a cracked front and back. Let's see if this has got a cracked front and back. Broken front glass, AT&T. So that's all right. See, so that's 365. 365. Yeah, see, that's probably iCloud locked. That's got to crack back. 360. I'm thinking about 360. That's got to crack. I'm thinking about 370, to be honest with you. So I'd probably come up to 250. Right? And you offer 210, right? I mean, I'd be cool going up to 250, selling it for 370 if I needed to. So that's how I would handle that. I would have gone up a little bit more. Yeah. See, he's leaving the convo. Makes sense. I want to buy the phone. Is it paid off with AT&T? He says, I don't think so. See, that's a tougher question to answer. I would have just said, what's the, how many gigabytes is it? And, of course, by saying how many gigabytes, that would get them to respond. But I'm really just looking to sell. Thanks anyway. You guys see that? So you guys see, because we didn't bring him from a level 3 to a level 2 correctly, he was out of the conversation, and the whole thing was kind of an issue because he wasn't really that committed to begin with. He wasn't really committed. If we brought him back initially, if we got him committed again, if we treated him like a level 2 or a level 3 and we got a dollar amount for the next response, he would have been committed again, and his responses would have been a little bit better. He would have been more invested in the conversation moving forward. So does that kind of make sense? He's keep making offers, though, so I like that. I mean, I got to give Richard props. Shit, he kept making offers. Just needs to be a little bit smoother. So that's what I got for that. We'll end the conversation there. Overall, Richard, I mean, you did the most important part, which was good. You stayed in the conversation fully. We just got to tweak it and make it a little bit smoother. Because if you said, like, sorry, just saw this in the beginning, and then you brought him back into the conversation by treating him, by acknowledging which level he was and bringing him back into the conversation based on that level, he would have been a lot more responsive, and then you would have gotten these wishy-washy, flaky BS, I don't really, care responses. He would have been a little bit more committed. So that's how I would handle that. Now, with that said, guys, we got a couple more minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and answer Tom's question and any other questions. So let me show you guys how I determine if I should sell a phone as clean IMEI or not. You guys like to see that at all? Because I sell a bunch of clean IMEI phones. Guys, your boy Aaron Goldstein sells a bunch of clean IMEI phones. Now, with that said, I sell a lot of bad IMEI phones as well. All right, so here are the rules. Clean IMEI phones. I sell clean IMEI phones only if they're AT&T. Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon. Well, all right. I guess I'll tell you everything that I do. I guess I'll tell you the secrets. So, Sprint, T-Mobile, all other companies besides AT&T and Verizon, these are always bad. Even though I'm going to test selling a couple T-Mobile and Sprints as clean once I find some that meet these qualifications, because I found a couple sites that might turn out to be good to determining if, like, Sprints paid off and not tied to an account. But we'll see how that goes. Now, this is what I do with Verizon. Verizon, if it's 6 months or older, I sell as clean IMEI. I don't get too many Verizon phones that are 6 months or older. But if it's a Verizon phone, I don't care if it's paid off or not. I don't check. If it's 6 months or older, I sell as clean IMEI. I haven't gotten any returns. So what I'm going to tell you guys is not really it's not really a law, but I probably sell 1 or 2 a month of Verizons that are probably still financed. I sell them as clean IMEI, and I haven't had any issues. So I do not believe, and this is not law, I do not believe, though, that Verizon blacklists for non-payments, or else I would get some returns, and I haven't. So if it's 6 months or older, I'm selling it as clean IMEI. AT&T, if it's 3 months or older, so when I say 3 months or older, I apologize, guys. If the phone has been activated for 3 months or longer, I will sell it as clean IMEI. I sell these all the time. All the time is clean IMEI. From my experience, AT&T does not blacklist for non-payment. We are pretty sure that T-Mobile and Sprint and all these other third parties, if the phone isn't fully paid off, the company will make the IMEI go bad. We believe, I'm thinking that Verizon doesn't do that, and I'm thinking that with AT&T, they don't make the IMEI. Well, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% positive that AT&T, the phone can still be paid, not be paid off. I know this for a fact, actually, because I bought multiple phones from legit people that tell me they switch carriers, and they've been multiple items, and I sell them, and I run it on AT&T's website, and I know it's still financed, and I sell it as AT&T clean IMEI, and I haven't gotten a return. I sell 10 to 15 phones a month of AT&T clean IMEI. I haven't gotten one return in the last 8 months of any of those phones going bad. So, guys, with that said, I'm fairly positive, at least at the time I'm making this recording for you guys or doing this live chat with you guys, that they don't blacklist phones. Does that make sense so far? Ulysses says, can a Wi-Fi iPad be blacklisted? Of course, anything can be blacklisted that has an IMEI, because any IMEI can be reported lost or stolen, correct? Chris says, so Chris, you're saying that Verizon makes IMEIs go bad if they're not paid off. Mohammed said 6 months since the phone has been activated. So what I do, guys, is we go to SICW. Guys, we use SICW for everything. So this is what we do for iPhones. iPhones, you're going to take the IMEI, you're going to run it under basic Apple information. It will tell you how long the phone's been activated. So let me get an IMEI of a phone that I have. Oh, this will be a perfect example. This is one that I'm selling as clean IMEI right now. It's an iPhone 7. So let me get this, and we'll run it, and I'll kind of show you what to look for. So with Verizon, you might have to check it yourself, because Chris says he's had issues. I haven't had any issues at all. All right. I sold an iPhone yesterday, by the way. Or I sold an AT&T phone yesterday. That was clean IMEI too. I sell these all the time as clean IMEI. See? So this is what you look for. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to look for estimated purchase date. And I just go off of the purchase date. Guys, this was purchased 2 years ago. Oh, and this is unlocked. So this isn't even AT&T. That's right. This one's unlocked. I'm selling this one as unlocked clean IMEI. I can show you on eBay if you want. It's unlocked clean IMEI. Guys, that was 2 years ago. I'm not worried about it. I'm selling it as clean IMEI. Estimated purchase date. If the purchase date was just a couple weeks ago, or for Verizon, if it was less than 6 months ago, I would sell it as bad. If it was AT&T, I would, 3 months. I go off of the 3-month rule. If it's a few weeks old, I sell it as bad. If it's 3 months or older, I sell it as clean. Now, that doesn't mean you might not be able to sell some of them. This is just what I'm doing, and it's working pretty good. What I'm worried about happening, guys, is people buying phones, and they sell it to us. They use it for a couple of weeks. They sell it to us, and then they do an insurance claim on the phone and get new phones. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm also worried about maybe them getting the phones not in the best manner and the IMEI going bad in like a month, correct? But if they've been using it for 3 months, a lot of those things can happen. A lot of those weird, scammy things that they're doing, for AT&T's purpose at least, will have been detected. So if it's 3 months or older, the IMEI is clean, still it's with AT&T. I have no problem selling it as AT&T clean IMEI. Great info, says Keisha. Thanks, Big AG. Had issues with Verizon. Not through. I think Verizon blacklist for non-payment for Verizon only, but it'll still work with T-Mobile and possibly Sprint. All right. It's not a good idea to show the IMEI if someone in the group doesn't like you. All right, guys. I'm going to assume all you guys like me. Yep, let's do Samsung. We love you, Aaron. Good. Chris, I don't. What can they do with it? It would have to be your own company, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't know. So then with Samsung, I think you can do it with Samsung too. So with Samsung, I believe if you run the Samsung IMEI, it will show you how long it's been activated for too. And it says if it's Samsung, LG, Android, I use the T-Mobile app on the phone to unlock it. It will still clean IMEI. So you're talking about, well, is that only for T-Mobile if they're paid off? Literally one of the options on SIGW. Okay. Yes, only T-Mobile. Cool, fantastic. So Diana can unlock the phones, unlock the T-Mobile phones, and that's a fantastic thing. You can definitely do that. If it's T-Mobile and it's paid off, you can unlock it, and then I guess you sell it as unlocked. So what I do, guys, again, this is just me, just little old Aaron. Then, of course, if it's AT&T, I run it through AT&T.com/device unlock. It'll either say, please unlock, or please pay off your balance. If it says, please pay off your balance, you got to sell it as AT&T, clean IMEI, AT&T only. And in the description, you got to put can't be unlocked. Will only work with AT&T. So if it's AT&T, clean IMEI, but you run it on AT&T device unlock and it says there's still a payment on the phone, and then you run it and it says it's not blacklisted, you want to sell it as AT&T only, clean IMEI. If it's paid off, if it says you can unlock it, I just say, hey, the phone's unlocked. I list the IMEI in the description. I say, do what you want with it. I don't unlock phones just because I don't care. It's too much work for me. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I just don't. I don't know. I've never once unlocked a phone. I'll just sell it as paid off. And in the description, I'll put, this is what I put. iPhone 8 Plus, 64 gigabyte, AT&T paid off. This is what I put. I put winky faces in the description. Here, let me show you guys one. You guys will like this. eBay.com. Yo, yeah, just little old Aaron. Well, guys, I only did like $82,000 a month in sales last month, so just another $15,000 to $18,000 plus profit month. Nothing crazy. Paid and shipped. What are you not telling us that brought you to $82,000 in sales this month? Well, one of the things, guys, if you guys haven't noticed, is I'm pretty fucking good at negotiating. The other thing is I'm really, 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 really good at getting repeat business. I could even share you guys the secret I'm using to get repeat business if you want, that I've never shared in any group chat before. But if you guys don't like Keisha, if you don't care about me telling you, I won't even tell it to you, to be honest with you. I'll just skip it. Oh, Keisha says, please do. Well, I guess Aaron's going to make it happen then. Let's see. Let me try to find one. B grade baddies. Oh, see, so like this is one I sold. So this is how I do it. Apple iPhone X. Here it is. Cracked back, clean IMEI, paid off. I always put paid off with a winky face if it's ever paid off. You guys see that? I always put a winky face. But then, guys, because I don't want to deal with bullshit and dumb customers, no offense to the dumb customers, I say, IMEI is in picture. As of now, it's locked only to AT&T. Not sure if it can be unlocked or not. By assuming AT&T only, unless you know otherwise with IMEI, and I give them the IMEI. So if they can submit it and they can unlock it, great. But if they go to submit it and there's an error in the server, I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to deal with it. This is what I do, so I never get returns. I never get returns because this is what I do. So if they can go and unlock it themselves, they'll be happy. If not, but I sell it as AT&T only, right? And then, of course, you guys see I'm following the script, right? I'm following the or the template, the eBay posting template. So that's what I do, and that's that. So there it is. Clean IMEI. I've sold a bunch of clean IMEI. Wow. Woo! I've sold a bunch. It's been good. All right, so let's talk about how I get repeat business. All right, so here is it's the 4 steps for getting repeat business. I'm really good at getting repeat business, guys. I'm so good at getting repeat business. All right, so the first thing I do Guys, repeat. Let me tell you guys a story. All right, this is how good I am. I met up with a guy. He had an iPhone Max, brand new in the box. First time lead. I'm always meeting new people that are selling me these phones, and I'm getting repeat business from other people. Meet up with the guy. Guy's like, meet up with the guy. I did my whole spiel. He goes, oh, I never really get any other phones. This is a one-time deal. I did my spiel. He goes, all right, well, I guess I'll, let you know if I get anything else. I said, all right, no worries. Boom, 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 boom. And then I sent the text. Then a few days later, he had one phone. A few days later, he had 2 phones. Next week, he had 6 phones. Those were those 6 phones I picked up. I made like $2,000 in profit off them from repeat business. So when I meet up with him, guys, we talk about this. You got to have the meetup experience good. The meetup experience has to be on point. You got to have your shit together. They're judging you, so you got to have all your shit together. It means you got to have the bill of sales. You got to have a bunch of pins. You got to have the money. You got to show up on time, right? How good does it look if I'm going to go buy the phone from Diana, and Diana is all nice and everything, and she shows up, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I'll be there in 8 minutes. I ran into some traffic. You get pissed off and you go to the restaurant, and you wait 5 seconds before the server gets there. How do you feel when the phone flipping professional is 8 minutes late? And then I get there, and I'm like, oh, Diana, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the phone's dead? Oh, well, I actually don't have a charger for it. So let's go over to Starbucks across the street and see if we could use someone's charger. And then we go to Starbucks, and then we charge their phone after I bug the customer. And now, how is Diana judging me? How would you guys be judging me? And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I got the bill of sale. I forgot the pen in the car. Let me see if they have a pen here in Starbucks. And then I get the pen. And then I'm like, oh, I owe you $245. Oh, damn, I gotta break change a little bit. Let me go break this change. I'm gonna go break change. Give me a sec, right? Doesn't matter what I say afterwards. Is Diana gonna like me? Is she not gonna like me? Oh, Diana says I'm ATM Aaron. That's right. I thought I was ATM Aaron. But now I'm unprepared Aaron. So you got to make sure your shit's together so they have a good experience, right? They don't care about your excuse. They want a good experience. When you go to the restaurant, if they're out of food, you don't care that they didn't order the correct amount of food and that the manager bought a Lamborghini instead of taking the money and renewing his contract with the lettuce company, so they're actually out of lettuce, so they're going to make your salad with a bunch of croutons. You don't care about that. You're pissed off that they don't have the thing. You guys understand that? So you got to have your stuff together. You got to have your shit together. I show up. I got a bill of sales this big. I got a box of pens this big. And I got cables, these many cables. I got cables for everything. iPhones, Samsungs, the old Samsung cables I have. I got car charging outlets, and I got plug ones. So if we meet up and I don't want them getting in my car, I can take the cable, I can go inside and I can plug it into an outlet and charge the phone right there. Done that multiple times before. Makes it convenient. Makes it you're on top of your stuff. I bought a phone from a guy at the mall the other day. It was an Apple Watch. I bought an Apple Watch from a phone from the guy in the mall. He thought it was charged. It wasn't charged. So what did I do? I went to my car. I had an outlet and I had a charging cable for the Apple Watch. I brought it back in. And usually I would bring it in, but he said it was charged, right? Usually I bring that stuff in anyway, so I'm prepared. So it's smooth. Oh, it's dead? No worries. Let me reach inside the magical compartment. Here's everything. We'll go ahead and charge it up. Everything is real good. You guys see that? On top of your stuff. On top of your stuff. David's seen Magner has seen my car. He knows it. I got a whole bunch of everything in the car. Then you got to have the exact change, of course, and everything's got to be a smooth transaction. Now, as long as you do that and they have it, if you fuck that up, then it doesn't matter. They're not going to deal with you anymore. They're going to call someone else. If you have a smooth transaction and have all your stuff together, then you can start saying the stuff. You can say, so you get the whole thing, and then as I'm talking to them, usually towards the end, usually after I hand them the money, but sometimes it's always towards the end, I'll be like, so, you ever get any other phones? I asked 3 times. So, you ever get any other phones? This guy said, no, not really. I said, all right, well, if you ever think you might get any more or get any other ones? So I'll kind of ask it a couple times. So what do I say? He shows up, blah, 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 do the whole thing, about to get the phone. So, all right, cool, cool, cool. I said, by the way, do you ever get any other phones? Or do you ever, get any other phones or come across anything else, any other electronics for sale? And this guy said, no, not really. And I'm like, well, no worries. I'm like, so you don't have any other phones or any other tablets or maybe laptops or anything like that for sale? And the guy's like, no, this is just kind of a one-time thing. And then I say, all right, no worries. Well, if you do, let me know. I buy these for a living, and I actually ship these overseas. So I don't care what happens to the phone. So if you get any other phones, let me know. I can buy any phones you have, and I can buy however many you have. I actually try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day. Okay, cool. What I do is I say I ship it overseas. I think they like that, right? First of all, it makes it seem like I got some secret connection. And then I always say I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day, so they know that it's not a one-time thing. I'm not just buying 1 or 2 phones. I'm actually trying to buy phones in bulk. That's what I say. So I really put it in their head that I buy phones. I say 3 different times. And then, guys, what I do is when I get home, at the end of the day, I go through all the people that I bought phones from, and I send them a thank you message. I say, hey, thanks again for the phone. It's perfect. If you run across any other items, just let me know. I'd love to do more business with you. That's what I say. Hey, I appreciate the phone. It's perfect. If you come across any other phones, let me know. I'd love to do more business with you. I bought a bunch of phones. I don't know if you guys saw it, but like last month, I bought 10 phones from one guy. I did the same process with him. He brought me 2 phones a day. Made like $400 in profit off the 2 phones total. So what you're doing is you're really pushing your intent onto them. You're pushing your intent. You're letting them know that you're buying items and you want to buy a lot of items. And the other thing I do is I let them know that I try to buy a lot of items. The reason I say I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day is because sometimes, guys, people get phones in bulk. But they're afraid because, they're financing them on their credit and fucking up their credit or whatever the hell they're doing. But they feel kind of funny. They actually feel funny coming to you with 4 brand new sealed phones because they think you're going to think they're kind of weird or judge them or think something's funny. So when you say, hey, I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day and I ship them overseas, they kind of like that shit. It's like, oh, this guy's kind of like, the guy's kind of in the game. This person's not going to freak out if I bring him a bunch of phones. And then when they don't freak out, if you bring them a bunch of phones, and sometimes they go get a bunch of phones, and they bring you a bunch of phones. And then when they bring you a bunch of phones, you get a lot of repeat business and you make a lot of money without having to do a lot of stuff. So that's how I handle that. And that's what I do. So when you meet up with them, you always got to say, and if you need to, make a reminder on your thing 3 times. Hey, you got any, you ever get any other phones for sale? No, not really. Okay, cool. So you don't have any other phones or maybe tablets or anything like that? No, not really. Well, no worries. If you come across anything else, let me know. I actually buy these. I ship them overseas, and I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day. So if you come across any other phones, just let me know. I can buy them. I'll buy however many you have. I'd love to do more business. So again, right, because they're thinking, this dude's a little, it's kind of weird to just bring 4 sealed phones. But when you say that, they know that you want to buy 4 sealed phones. And then sometimes they bring you 4 sealed phones, and then you're happy. And then you send a follow-up text to just kind of let them know you're serious. Because some people, they get all excited. They talk in the moment. Who has done that? You talk in the moment, I'm going to do this, and you get home and you don't do anything. So you send them that reminder text that lets them know that you're serious, and it just puts it in their head again that you want to do more business with them. Get a lot of repeat business. It's very uncommon for me to buy like a new open box phone or a new sealed phone that I always open, but a new open box phone from like a brand new lead that I don't have been doing multiple deals with over and over again. It's very uncommon for me to be just buy kind of like a new phone that I don't do business with over and over again. So that's how I do that. Appreciate it, Wallace. Keisha hands him a flyer, which is fantastic. Brenda says, very cool. Chris is a funny guy. Do you open them first time? Ray says, do you open the phones if it's the first time doing business with them? I almost always open the phone. And even if it's repeat business, if they bring a bunch of phones, usually I open a few of them, and then I'll keep a few of them sealed. Because A, it doesn't really affect the price at all. And if you're pricing it correctly, who cares? It's better to have peace of mind when you're driving home. And C, it lets them know that they can't pull anything funny with you. Some people get comfortable with you. It's a cash business. People don't trust everyone, right? Some people, they say, oh, I brought this guy 5 sealed phones for the last month. He didn't open any of it. Let me go ahead and take this box, do the little funky thing, pull the phone out, put a little rock inside. Should weigh about the same, right? Wrap it in some paper so when it shakes, it doesn't shake. And I'll just give that to Aaron instead, right? I don't have that problem because I always open up some things, so it keeps them honest. It's a nice thing to do. Yep, absolutely. Yep, 4 steps, Tom. Well, so it's 4 different things. It's making 3 offers, bringing up the 3 statements when you're with them, and then the 4th thing is just sending that text. So 3 statements. You don't have to send it perfectly, but just kind of let them know and emphasizing, I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day. Always say that. I try to buy 5 to 10 phones a day. Try to buy 5 that lets them know that they're serious, right? And some people, guys, a lot of people don't have direction in life. So sometimes by doing that, they'll actually go out there and they'll actually kind of, you're almost giving them purpose. So they'll go out there, and then sometimes they'll bring brand new steel phones, but sometimes they'll be like, hey, I got a friend that's got this tablet. Or I get that a lot too. I got a friend and they got this phone, and my cousin's actually got this phone with a cracked screen. Do you buy that? So I get the sealed phones, but you guys know I get all the phones. A few days ago, I picked up an S6 for $35. So, I pick up the $35 ones. I pick up the 256 gigabyte, maxes. Aaron, I have a question. I work until 7 p.m. Should I reply to leads after work? Sometimes I don't respond to leads during the day. We're always busy. Yes, I would respond to leads as soon as you get off work. Great time to meet people after that. I mean, Keisha gets off work at 11. She did 21 grand her first month in Next Level. I used to get off work at 9 p.m. every day, and I would respond to leads and set up appointments and close some deals. So, yeah, you don't want to ever worry about time or traditional time. Whenever you can respond to leads, morning, noon, night, whenever, you want to respond to leads. You never want to say, oh, these people might be sleeping or something. You want to respond to leads and close deals. And the worst case is you set up the appointment or the meetup for later, right? Probably wouldn't be your situation, Jesus, right? But, even if it's 2 in the morning, you can respond to leads and set up appointments for the next day. Obviously, it's 7 p.m. You could probably meet people 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, midnight. Aaron, you might have to say 10 to 15 phones a day at $85K. Yeah, that's right. That's what I should be doing. Yeah, I did it was only like 82,000, so it wasn't 85. But yeah, I don't have any employees. Some people think I get phones shipped in. No, I was just driving around picking up phones. So, hey, Zeus, I wouldn't ask the question, how far would I go? The question is, how far would you drive? What would be worth it for you? If it's after 7 p.m. and you worked out a deal with the phone and you were going to make, let's say, $120 profit, would you drive 15 minutes? Would you drive a half an hour? I would. I drove a half an hour a day to get those 2 phones. Half an hour one way, half an hour back. I try to get everyone to come to me, but, I very rarely pick up phones now where I don't make less than $100. So if I got to drive 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, I drive all the time. Try to get people to come to me now. Half the people now usually come to me. I get them to come to the gas station by me just by pushing that. But, if they're lazy or they want to meet halfway, I'll meet them halfway. That'd almost be kind of a dick move for me to say, oh, no, I need you to come to me. No, if you're 40 minutes away, you drive 20 minutes, I'll drive 20 minutes. I think that's fair. We're both sacrificing something. I think that's fair. It's not about me. It's about both of us, right? Be better to get you to come to me, right? But I understand if you don't want to, that's no problem at all. Chris says, are you ever going to try to do 100 grand? Of course. You track the amount of time you spend responding to leads, not on like paper or anything. I kind of keep it in my head. But I kind of respond to leads throughout the day. And usually it's a few hours. But the few hours I respond to leads more effectively than most people, because when I'm responding to leads, I'm literally responding to every single lead. Then I'm reaching out to people, and then I'm following up with people, and I don't do anything else. What a lot of people do is they respond to 5, 10 leads, and then they get on Facebook, or then they watch the TV, or they get something to eat. I don't do that. I'll pick up a phone and sit in my car for an hour straight, just responding and following up and reaching out and putting up more ads, sometimes without getting a phone. And then I'll leave and then I'll go home. A lot of times, though, when I do it that intensely, with that intent of focus, a lot of times I can set up another deal and then I can go pick up another phone. So how you get them to come to you is after you agree on the time and after you agree on the price, and say, all right, great. When would you like to meet? And sometimes they'll say now, and they'll be like, all right, in 2 hours. I'm like, all right, great. There's this quick trip, and I send them the address. There's this quick trip on Lindbergh and 270. Return. I send them the address, and I send that. And then I say, can we meet there? Can we meet here? So a lot of times by you just suggesting the place you want them to meet at, you can get them to come to you. Can we meet here? So I don't say anymore. I don't say, hey, where would you like to meet? I push where I want to meet on them, and a lot of times they'll just come to you. Now sometimes they'll say no, or that's kind of far, or something like that, and then you'll go from there. But a lot of times they'll say, yeah, okay. Well, Jesus, that's basically how I get people to come to me. But I mean, I would drive. If I would not lose a deal by not wanting to drive 15, 20 minutes. I would never do that. I used to get off work at 9 and I would drive around until midnight and I'd go home. But picked up 4 or 5 phones, I would make $300, $400, $500 in profit on. Yeah, no, Chris gets people to come to him, so that's what I do. But again, it's your business, right? If it's not worth it for you, Jesus, I wouldn't do it, right? But me personally, I wouldn't lose a deal by not wanting to drive 15 minutes one way and 15 minutes back. But that's me. It's your business. You got to decide, however, what's worth it for you and what's not worth it for you. And how far you're willing to drive and how far you're not. I don't track the amount of leads I get per week, but I get, I get so many leads on LetGo. I get a lot of leads. It's 40 to 50 leads a day. What would you say if they don't have a car? I would try to get them to get a car or to get a ride, right? I'm just fixing their problems. You don't have a car. No worries. Could you get a ride? Sometimes they can't. And then in that situation, if it's a good phone, then I'll usually try to, it was a few weeks ago. These people didn't have a car. They were like a half an hour away. But they had like 2 or 3 phones that I made like 500 or 600 in profit on. So there was a Walgreens by them that they could walk to. We just met at the Walgreens. I'm not going to not drive. It was like 40, it was like 40, 45 minutes. No, I don't think it was that far. It was about 35 minutes away though. One way. But $500, $600 deal. So it used to take me 2 weeks to make that on my job. So I'm more than happy driving. But again, guys, that's just me, right? You got to set your business up how you want to do it. If you don't want to drive or you want to get everyone to come to you, that's cool. You'll probably lose some deals that way, to be honest with you. But, you got to decide, all right, what are my goals? How much money do I want to make? How much effort do I want to put into it? How much time do I want to spend? Because I spend a fair amount of time driving. But, I did $82,000 last month too. Well, Tom likes that. Well, hey, Zeus, then it depends on how big the deal is. Most of the time, though, if they don't have, I usually won't do those deals unless it's unless it's really worth it. So sometimes I'll pass up on those deals, right? If it's 40 minutes away and I'm only making $70 on it and they don't have a car, they won't come to me. A lot of times I won't do those deals. Before, though, I would try to push to make it work. I'm in a different position now. I got a bunch of repeat business. I'm really good at negotiating now. In the beginning, though, I would try to make that work. And there was a lot of times in the beginning where I would drive all the way to them. The deal would go fine. We'd meet in a public place. Everything was good. I drive all the way back. No problems at all. And, I made the, $60, $70. I was making $11 an hour. So for me, and again, it's just for me, right? So you guys got to decide what it's for you. But again, for me, even back then, it was totally worth it for me to spend, 30 minutes there, 15 minutes with them, 30 minutes back. I spent an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to list the item on eBay. That's going to take 10 minutes, an hour and a half. To make $60, I was making $11 an hour at my job. So that's like 400%, 500% more than what I was making before. So I did it back then. $20 profit only. I don't pick up any item unless it should be $50. $50 profit is what I was shooting for in the beginning. Now I always shoot closer to 100. But yeah, there was some deal. It was out far away. It was for like a single phone, and I just didn't want to do the deal, and I didn't drive. But I would say in the beginning, my advice would be to do everything you need to do in the beginning till you get your numbers and get where you want to go. And then once you're at those numbers, then try to make it more convenient for you and make it easier for you. In the beginning, I did everything. I wasn't hanging out with friends in the beginning. I was just working my job, working the phone flipping thing, making it work, and did everything I could to make it work. That's how I was able to quit my job. I bought David's program, and 2 months later, I went part-time at my job. 3 months later, I quit my job. In 3 months, I had 30 grand a month, and that was before next level shit. That was before we knew all the apps and stuff. This was like using Craigslist and like offer up. This was before the reach out method. So I was doing 30 grand a month before all that. Because I was just doing whatever it took to make it work. Yeah, so Chris lost a $200 deal. No major phones. Right, and sometimes they're going to be too far and you're going to lose the deal, right? If they're 4 hours away, they might not want to drive real far. I just look at it as, is the time worth? Now, there's this one guy, guys, that comes from another state or comes from like 4 hours away. Not 4 hours away. He comes from like 3 hours away. So he drives, I drive 45 minutes. And he drives it's like 2 hours, and we meet. But it's always for like a few phones. It's always for like $400 plus in profit. So, guys, I'm willing to do some work for $400 in profit. But sometimes I get people to come to the gas station by me. I drive 4 minutes, and I make $1,000 in profit. So don't think that, the more I drive, the more money I'm going to make. It's just every deal is a case-by-case basis. Mr. Jesus says, what would you say if you have a lead for multiple phones, you can't afford to buy all of them, and only some? Well, I'd make an offer for the ones you have. I'd say, hey, I'd love to buy them all from you. I actually only have enough money to buy these, so is there any way I could buy these, and in a few days I could buy the rest from you? Yeah, we're in the Facebook ads. I do the Facebook stuff. Oh, I do yes, I do. Jesus says, how can you overcome the fear of getting robbed, meeting at night? Well, Jesus, now you said you got robbed, right? So did they just rob? Did you meet in a public place, inside a public place at night? Okay. So did you just was it just like a random thing you got robbed, or did you maybe put yourself in a position where it was more likely to happen and then they took advantage of it? Well, parking lot. Well, yeah. Jesus, I feel like if you met inside a public place, inside a Denny's, inside a McDonald's, inside really busy public gas stations, that might not happen to you. I had a guy last week. We were going to meet inside the Walgreens. It was a night kind of in the ghetto. And he calls me. He goes, hey, I'm in the car. I'm in the van in the corner. Come to the van. And I ain't coming to the van. Come inside. I got to use the Wi-Fi to reset it. Come inside. He goes, I don't know. It makes me nervous. I said, there's people all over the place. I'm in the middle of the Walgreens. There's cameras. There's people. And we didn't do the deal. I didn't hear from him. So he was probably trying to rob me. I just don't put myself in those situations anymore. That's right. Right? Well, no worries, Jesus. You learned a lesson. So you just meet in a public place, man. You meet in a public place. You meet inside public. I don't want to be too direct, but don't overcomplicate the business. When you run the business correctly, it works. when you meet, when you put up ads like you're supposed to, when you respond to leads like you're supposed to, when you go through training in next level so you get better at negotiating, and you meet up with people inside public places, then everything goes just fine. But when you don't, bad stuff happens. Cool, no worries. I had a guy take off with the phone too. I mean, we met. I didn't meet inside. I handed him the money, and he just took the phone out of my hand and ran. But, learned a lesson. Chris, I just stick to the basics, man. I don't do anything else. And a lot of people post silly stuff on Facebook and all these different groups, and I just ignore it. I think it's the silliest thing. People are doing $1,500 a month, and they're trying to make a website to get phones shipped in, or they're trying to train a VA on how to respond to leads for them. I'm like, you're not even good at negotiating yourself. The hell are you doing trying to train someone to respond to leads for you? Oh, I've seen that happen like 20 times now. So I see it happen a few times a month, just different people in different groups. So I just stick to the basics, man. And that's just me, right? If you want to try and do your own thing, that's cool. But I don't know. Seems kind of silly to me. I don't know. I'd rather just do what works. I'd rather do what works, make 15 to 18 grand a month in profit, work 30 hours a week. But that's just me. I'd just rather do what works, right? I don't know, just test stuff, Tom. I posted a screenshot in that group, so of kind of what I was doing. I just test a bunch of stuff. And then I also know a lot of psychology, so I'm always kind of using the psychology stuff. Yeah. And I'm not saying you shouldn't train your VA. I'm not saying you shouldn't make a website. I'm not saying you shouldn't do a bunch of stuff. But if you're not doing at least 20 grand a month, you really don't have any business doing that because you don't have the skill sets down yourself that, of the basics of what you need to be successful. Makes sense to stick to the basics, do what works. Me and Magner were hanging out. He was telling me that. He goes, I see people posting stuff in the group that doesn't go off of what you teach. He goes, that's the silliest thing. They bought your program. They paid you money, Aaron, to get access to what you teach, and now they want to do it their own way. I'd rather just copy what works. I said, it's a smart thing to do, right? I want you guys to copy what works. I got a beautiful blueprint. Next Level's blueprint, guys, is so fucking effective and efficient. It's unbelievable. I've been in so many different businesses where they just give you theory or bullshit, and I have outlined step by step everything you need to do to make 20 grand a month in Next Level. Everyone here can make $1,000 in profit a week in Next Level if you just follow the blueprint. Not only do I teach you the theory, I show you my stuff. I have so many videos of me showing you my ads on all the platforms and them sticking. I have so many videos of my actual message negotiation skills and me closing people teaching the stuff that I teach you guys. The eBay listing template I teach you guys, that's the same listing template I showed you on the screen that I use. I have everything that you need to be successful, but it's up to you to go through the training and implement it. You go through the training and implement it, you get results. You get distracted, you're probably not going to get results. At the end of the day, it's your business. I'd rather everyone make money, though. I'd rather you just do what works and don't reinvent the wheel, make $1,000 a week in profit in cold, hard cash. And once you're doing $20,000 a month and you're making $5,000 to $6,000 a month in profit, then you could try to reinvent the wheel, or you could just keep doing what works and make even more money. Roy says, was that couple near me? Yes. Me and him were very good friends. I knew that guy. We used to hang out all the time. I had Thanksgiving at his house. I talked to his grandma a lot now still. So I get word, Jesus, that I'd have to get a job. My biggest fear is having to get a job. I need $100 a day to live on. So anytime I make $100 a day in profit, I feel really good. And then anything after that, just more money. So in my head, it's like a game. I'm like, all right, I got to make $100 to get all my bills and sustain myself. And then if I have a $300, $400, $500, $800 plus profit day, then I just feel amazing because I'm like, man, I just keep pushing myself further and further ahead, never having to get a job now. Tom says it's the Facebook ad group. It's the group Kosciuszko made. Just go there and check it out. I actually got a screenshot of my exact copy and image. Check it out. It's good. What did he do wrong? Yeah, he met in this car. He had these people. So he used to do a bunch of stuff wrong. He did a gazillion things that were wrong. There was one time I was with him. We were in the corner of the gas station at midnight. This guy got in the back of the car and sold him 8 sealed XSs. It was like a $6,700 transaction. He got in the back of the car in the corner of the gas station. This guy gets in, hoodie like this, shady motherfucker. I mean, the guy could have easily took out a gun, shot the guy. Shit, the guy could have shot me, got back in his truck, and no one would have seen anything because it was in the corner of this big thing. So he was just doing a bunch of crazy shit. So what happened was this guy that used to buy and sell me phones a lot, we used to do a bunch of, I'd see him all the time. He was doing a deal, and someone got in his car, didn't mean in a public place, someone got in his car, and there was an altercation. He held a gun up to the guy's head, made him drove away, and shot the guy in the head. He was supposed to buy some phones from the guy. And the worst part is, and I didn't tell this to the guys, he shot his wife too. His wife that wasn't even involved in it was sitting there with him, so the guy shot his wife. And it's really fucking sad because I was really close with their whole family. So now their kids don't have a fucking mom or dad, and they have to live at their grandparents' house. So I've actually seen them since that happened. Like, I don't support them or anything, but I hung out with them a couple weeks ago, and I brought them some food, and I talked to them and kind of hung out with them. I brought them some, like a big cake and some ice cream because that's what the girls like. That's what Sarah and her sister like. So I hung out with them at their house. And the lesson behind that, of course, is you got to, you hang out with the wrong people, you got to hang out with the wrong people, you can get caught. The saying is, you're by the barn and the barn explodes, the barn falls over and hits the fence, and the fence falls over and hits you. That's why it's really important that you only hang out with people. You got to be hanging out with people that are on the up and up. I don't hang out or associate with weird people anymore because just by association, bad stuff can happen. Jesus says, that's my fear. I don't want that to happen. But Jesus, man, what are you talking about? You're not going to let someone get in your car in the gas station at midnight, are you? You're going to meet in a public place. I've had multiple people it seemed like they were going to rob me. That doesn't sound like a good, if you meet somewhere public and you follow the rules, everything's fine. There's this one guy locally that's in Next Level that's been buying phones for over 6 years. He's the screenshot of that guy I posted. He has never had any issues because he meets in a public place. He does everything legit. I know this other guy that used to own a cell phone store. He buys and sells phones. Been doing it 8 years. Never had any issues. The guy, he was doing it for a little over a year, and he got killed. When you do it right, everything. I mean, that's like saying, I'm not going to go to the gym anymore and lift weights because I watched the video of a guy squatting and the guy broke his leg. Well, the guy didn't just break his leg squatting. The guy broke his leg squatting because he should have had 145 pound on each side, but instead he was trying to pull a Chris Kripe and put 545 pounds on each side, and Chris Kripe can do that because he squats a lot. The other guy can't, so the other guy's leg got broken. When you do everything right, you don't have it's just like driving, right? When you drive, everything happens, but some people drive in text and then they get in accidents. So, if you follow the rules and everything, you're going to be pretty safe. If you don't follow the rules, probably not going to be pretty safe. Yep. Guys, I do this phone flipping thing for a while, correct? I haven't heard of one person that follows the rules, does everything right, and has any issues. It's only when people don't have issues. They get in their car, they go to someone's house, they do some shady shit. That's when they have issues. Just like anything else, right? You can make a lot of money trading stocks, but if you try to get some insider information that's illegal, you can go to jail for 20 years, right? It's like anything else. Oh, my parents are pretty proud. They're pretty proud. They like it. Especially because I've tried a bunch of other businesses. I've tried a bunch of other businesses that didn't work. So it's nice to have a business that does work. Guys, this business fucking works. This thing's beautiful. Me and Remy were talking. Remy's like, man, when I got started, because he's in the VIP, so, we talk on the phone. And he's like, man, when I got started, my family wasn't too certain because they saw me trying all these businesses. He goes, every month, and he doubled the amount of profit he made this month compared to last month. He goes, my family sees this. They see me starting to pay for things. We're doing funner things now. He thinks it's fantastic. He goes, my whole family, they're kind of impressed. They're like, wow, Remy's on top of this stuff. It's a beautiful thing. My parents think it's awesome. It's great. I'll walk in. I'm like, yeah, Mom. They'll be like, oh, what'd you do today, Aaron? I'm like, oh, not much. Picked up a few phones and made $800 in profit, Just another day phone flipping. So it's nice. It's a great thing. I'm hanging out with friends more than ever before. I hang out with Magner and Chris all the time. All the time I hang out with them. It's great because you can control your own life with this business, right? You got to discipline yourself, right? You can't be a little bitch, no offense, but you got to discipline yourself and have your shit together. But as long as you do that, you can work this business, work a good 30 hours a week, and then you can make really good money if you do everything correctly, and then you just cruise. You just hang out, spend time with family, spend time with friends. You have money for stuff. I go out with people now that have money, and it's nice. Because before I used to go out with broke people, and we couldn't do anything. I hang out with Magner. Magner, he's on this group chat. He's in this program. He's got a job. He makes really good money at his job. I ain't going to say how much he makes, but he makes really good money. We hang out with a guy named Vlad that's a doctor. So Vlad makes really good money. So when we go out to places, we don't worry about stuff, right? We go out, we spend money. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I don't drink alcohol, so, the waters aren't that expensive for me. But, sometimes we want to go somewhere to eat. Sometimes we're going to go shopping and get some clothes, right? And, it's nice not to have to worry about money. Dang, Chris started paying his mom's rent. That is some fantastic stuff. No, I do not give my parents an allowance. Fire group chat. No worries, guys. I'm going to go get started. I'm going to go get some food. It was great hanging out with you guys. It was fantastic. We hung out a little bit longer, but that's okay. God damn, he wants a lot of money. All right, guys. I appreciate the feedback, guys. It was great hanging out with you guys. Great seeing all you guys here. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye for now. Appreciate the feedback.